Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, Mega Crashers here, and I present you guys what promises to be an awesome Rate My Team / team building video. And this team right here, you guys are gonna love this. I mean, I've tried this team out a few times after building it. Wow. I am absolutely surprised and amazed how dependable and how durable not only each of these Pokemon are, but how the entire team is, and how they function so well together, and it's like one fluid motion, all in one. You got 6 Pokemon, all working together like it was one well-oiled machine. Now, I would like to call this team the Mega-Scizor plus VoltTurn Regeneration team. I don't know what better name to call it. I mean, this team is just, wow, it's amazing. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get right into it. So, the first teammate that we got is going to be Slowbro. And Slowbro, my bro, Brony, I got to say that Slowbro has saved my ass more times than I can even begin to recall. As a matter of fact, I remember a while back, I was in a Battle Spot Wi-Fi battle, and I was up against a Mega Rayquaza, Conkeldurr, and I can't remember the third Pokemon. I think it might have been Scolipede. But anyways, I was in a 3 versus 1 disadvantage. All I had left was my Slowbro, and it somehow outlasted and beat all 3 of those Pokemon. Try to wrap your head around that. Mega Rayquaza. Base 180 attack. Need I say more? Well, I'm gonna be saying a lot more because this Pokemon right here, there's a reason why this thing is an OU. So let's go ahead and get right into the set here. So I decided to go with a Rocky Helmet, and Rocky Helmet is a very, very good item to have to deter any physical attackers away from attacking you outright. And this right here just further reinforces this Pokemon's role as a sturdy physical wall. The thing will not go down without a fight. So, Rocky Helmet, upon contact moves, will damage the attacker, take away 1/6 of their health. Yeah, try and stack that up with entry hazards, even though this team doesn't run entry hazards. Just saying. The ability is going to be Regenerator, and the Regenerator ability has got to be one of the most busted abilities there is, in my opinion, because upon switching out, you restore 1/3 of your HP outright. That is amazing. This is an amazing Pokemon. On top of its durability, you have Regenerator just further reinforcing the fact that this thing is just such a solid-ass Pokemon. That being said, let's get into the moves. So we got Slack Off being the first move, and what this does is it restores 50% of your maximum health. Sometimes, though, Regenerator is not enough for Slowbro to last in battle. You need to have Slack Off, and Slack Off is a great move to have. Restores 50% HP, as I said. And it's amazing. It allows for you to not only outstall attackers with Rocky Helmet if they're going to be running physical attacks, or I should say contact moves, but just the fact that this thing is so durable, and Slack Off is another reason as to why that is. So up next, we're going to go with Thunder Wave, and Thunder Wave is a great move to have which cripples and paralyzes opponents, with the exception of them being ground and or electric types, or if they have the ability Limber. And this slows down any very fast sweepers. If they're looking to set up, like if you're a Mega Charizard X and you're looking to 6-0 the team, good luck getting past Slowbro, bro, because Thunder Wave not only paralyzes you, cuts your speed down, but you now have quite the high percentage of being fully paralyzed the next turn, in which Slowbro can just outright outstall you and win 1 versus 1. The next move that we have is going to be Ice Beam. This is what's going to catch Pokemon like Landorus and Garchomp right off guard. And I find that this right here is a very good alternative to Psyshock. Psyshock, yes, is stab, and it does target the physical defense of the opponents, but I'm just a bigger fan of Ice Beam, because Ice Beam, like I said, targets Landorus's, targets your Garchomps, targets, you know, like any Pokemon that are 4 times weak to Ice-type moves, such as Dragonite. So it's just like, I find that Ice Beam is a solid choice to have on this Pokemon. Now lastly, we have Scald. Now Scald is a very, very awesome Water-type move with base 80 power, 100% accuracy, and has a 30% chance to burn. Now I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, well, wait a second there, Mega Crasher. You got Thunder Wave here. Why would you want to have Scald on here if you were going to be, you know, aiming to paralyze your opponents? Wouldn't Scald just be kind of useless? Well, here's the thing. For those Pokemon that you can't paralyze, you can burn them with Scald. So, Scald is also another great way to cripple physical attackers and just further reinforce and have much better sustain physically in battle. So let's go ahead and take a look at the EV spread right here. So we got a Bold Nature to allow for you to have as much physical defense as possible, and what's even better is the EV spread. Check it out. We got 248 into its HP, 252 into physical defense, and 8 into special defense. We're not really worrying about speed, so I figured just put the 8 into special defense to give it a little extra. Not too much, but a little extra special bulk. I mean, this thing is just really meant to be a physical wall that just does not go down. It is sturdy as hell, and I guarantee you that if you know how to use Slowbro, it's not going to let you down in battle. But speaking of not letting you down, let's go ahead and move on to member number 2. That's going to be Amoonguss, and Amoonguss is the second member of 3 regeneration Mons. This right here is just such an amazing Pokemon that pairs well with Slowbro because they take on each other's strengths and weaknesses. It's amazing. So this one, we're going to be having Black Sludge, and Black Sludge is a poison type leftover. So considering that Amoonguss is part poison type, you restore 1/16 of your health. And this is also a Pokemon that is also a go-to for a status absorber, you could say, because it's not going to worry too much about burns, and it's not really going to worry about being paralyzed because the thing has shitty speed anyways. So Amoonguss, for me, is just, it's another reason why I use Amoonguss. Is not only is it a great status absorber, at least in my opinion, it also complements Slowbro well as it fitting in so well in the Regenerator core. And speaking of Regenerator, that happens to be its ability. Need I say more about it? I didn't think so. So let's go on to the first move. It's going to be Spore. Spore is a 100% accurate sleep move. This is amazing. However, because it's grass type, you're not going to be able to put asleep any Pokemon that are of the grass type, or if they have Sap Sipper or Insomnia, or Magic Bounce for that matter. So you kind of have to be wary about that one. But either way, Spore is a great move to have to catch any Pokemon that's looking to set up on you off guard. And then up next, we're going to go for Giga Drain, because Giga Drain is a really good grass-type move that half the damage you inflict gets restored as health. And if you hit especially super effective damage, they're going to be getting back some pretty substantial health. Up next, we got Hidden Power Fire, and this right here is another reason why I use Amoonguss. This thing is the ultimate Ferrothorn counter, in my opinion, because it doesn't take really that much damage from Gyro Ball, it can't be Leech Seed stalled, and it can just start firing off Hidden Power Fires, but like, get the fuck out of here. Get out. You just got burned. You know? Things like that. And then lastly, we are going to be running Clear Smog, because Clear Smog is a great way to get rid of any stat boosts from your opponent. So if they start setting up, you know, your Calm Mind or your Swords Dances or Dragon Dances and all that bullshit, well, Clear Smog is all like, well, hey, let's have a little puff of the mushrooms. Oh, what's that? Oh, I'm so sorry, I just erased your +6 bulk ups. Gonna have to try again, bitch! Woo! 1 sec. Ugh! Water tastes so good. And speaking of tasting good, so does the EV spread right here. So we're going to be running a Calm Nature so that we can boost up that special defense. And the EV spread right here is meant for you to be taking hits from both sides of the spectrum. So we got 248 EVs into its HP, 140 into its defense, and 120 into its special defense. And you take a look at the numbers right here. 431 HP, 211 physical defense, 248 special defense. I don't know about you guys, but those are some pretty sexy stats right there. I don't know. I mean, might be just me, but I love this spread. It's amazing. And speaking of amazing, let's move on to Pokemon number 3, and that is going to be Tornadus-Therian. Whoa! I love this Pokemon. I love it so much. Oh my fuck. You have no idea. I love it. This Pokemon not only complements very well the Regenerator core with its abilities, surprise, surprise, Regenerator, but this thing makes a very good offensive pivot as well as a special tank thanks to Assault Vest, which is going to be its item of choice. Assault Vest locks you into attacking moves only, but boosts your special defense by 50%. And if we take a look at the EV spread after the moveset, you'll see why this thing is the way it is on this team and just how it earned this spot and just how, well, I shouldn't even say earn it. I mean, the thing just is a shoo-in. It's so good. So the first move that we got is going to be Hurricane. And yes, it's got base 70 accuracy, which means it can miss. It's got a 30% chance to confuse. And it's base 110 power, and it's stab. Try to argue that. Oh, but wait, there's Air Slash. Air Slash. Bruh. I'm looking for power. I'm looking to go balls to the walls and have that power. Sure, I may have a chance to miss. But see, battling, you know, it's a gamble. You either risk missing and having a high power move that can make the difference, or if you're going to play it safe, have a lower power but higher accuracy move, might not be able to get the job done. Feel me? You know what I mean? Anyways, so Hurricane is going to be the stab of choice. Up next, we're going to go for Superpower. And Superpower, such a good way to catch any Tyranitar switch-ins because, hey, I mean, Tyranitar, without Superpower, walls this thing very easily. But Superpower intact, you're going to be like, oh, well, go ahead, try to switch in on me, try to switch on me. Wham, bam, bam! You just got superpowered in the face, super effective 4 times, bitch! And if that's not enough, we got U-Turn. You turn your way out to be all like, yo, you know, I'm fast and all that shit, but I don't want to stay in on your candy ass, so boop, allow me to attack and switch the fuck out into something that can take your shit. Something like that. U-Turn is amazing. And you know something else that's amazing is going to be Knockoff! And Knockoff is a great move to have on this thing, because not only does it do super effective damage to Psychic and Ghost-type Pokemon, but this removes the held item of your opponents, with the exception of it either having the ability Sticky Hold, or if it's a Mega Stone. And what's better, even better about Knockoff being one of my favorite moves, as I've said previously time and time again, the move's power increases by 50% when you knock off an opponent's held item. That can make or break the difference in battle between winning and losing. So let's go ahead and take a look at this EV spread. So we're going to go with the Timid Nature because... Or, I'm sorry, not a Timid Nature. What the fuck am I thinking? Hasty Nature. And the reason for this is because we do not want to drop that glorious base 100 physical attack stat. Now, I know what y'all be thinking. Well, wait a second. Why not just go for Timid? I mean, you're compromising its physical bulk. And considering that this thing is meant to switch in and eat up hits, wouldn't you want to run a Timid Nature so it doesn't have its physical bulk compromised? Well, no, son. Here's the thing. This thing is meant to take special hits upon switching in. The thing of it is, you got 1 special attack and 3 physical attacks. Why the hell would you want to compromise its physical attack when 3/4 of its set is going to be physical? Doesn't make that much sense. So, we're going to be going with the Hasty Nature. And even with the slight defense drop, the thing is still bulky as hell for being an offensive presence. So we got 96 on the HP to give you an odd HP number, which means more Stealth Rock switch-ins, 160 into the special attack, and 252 into the speed. And you take a look at that sexy speed number, 375, baby! There's gonna be a lot of things that you outspeed. A lot of things. Amazing. So, with that being said, let's move on to member number 4. And by the way, Tornadus not only finishes off the Regenerator core as being the 3 members, but this also is part of another core too, being the part of the infamous VoltTurn core with member number 4, Raikou! Yes! Oh my god. I gotta say, Raikou, easily one of my top favorite OU mons, and without a doubt, one of my top favorite Electric-type Pokemon. This thing, I don't even know where to begin with this thing. This thing is so good! This thing is so good. How the hell that it was UU at the beginning is beyond me. But I'm glad that they've smartened up and brought this beast up to OU, and even still, OU has a lot of trouble handling this thing. It really does. So anyways, this Pokemon is Calm Mind plus 3 attacks. That is all you need. That is all you need. Trust me when I say that. This thing, after a couple Calm Mind boosts, just finds opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, set up and sweep. And if it just so happens that you are stuck in an unfavorable position, Volt Switch out, and hey, thank you for eating up a boosted hit. So anyways, Raikou. The item for choice is going to be Leftovers to allow for it to have passive recovery at the end of each turn. Pretty awesome for a Calm Mind booster. The ability is going to be Pressure because, well, that's the only ability it has legally. I would love for it to have Volt Absorb, but I'm afraid that's just not going to happen right now. So we'll stick with Pressure. And Pressure raises the usage of power points and moves. So, you know what? It can actually be kind of good if you know how to play around with it. But I never really worried too much about Pressure and how to play around with it. I was just worrying about getting Raikou in there, setting up Calm Minds on your candy ass, and sweeping as it's the most electrifying Pokemon in the OU tier. No pun intended, because it's electric type. So, we got Calm Mind being its first move. It sets up the special attack and the special defense by 1 stage. After a couple Calm Mind boosts, you're going to be tanking up those Draco's, you're going to be tanking up those Hurricanes, all those Moonblasts, all that bullshit, and you're just going to be setting up to sweep. That's simple. It is that simple. Up next, we got Volt Switch. So say if you set up a Calm Mind, and you decide that your opponent is going to switch in the Ferrothorn or anything to try and counter out your Raikou and eat up hits and all that stuff, well, Volt Switch safely Volt Switches you out, and what's even better is it causes damage. So it's like, okay, alright, you want to switch in. Well, how about you take a +1 Volt Switch for your troubles? Still going to do a significant amount of damage. Volt Switch forms very well with U-Turn, hence why Raikou and Tornadus-Therian is now the VoltTurn core. Up next, we got Thunderbolts. So hey, so you don't want to switch out. Well, that's just fine. That's fine by me. You want to set in your Rotom Washes to try and burn me? I don't give a shit. After a couple Calm Mind boosts, you ain't gonna be living no Thunderbolt unless you're specially defensive. But even still, you're not gonna be able to survive against Raikou one-on-one. There's just no way in hell that you're gonna be able to do that. And then we got Hidden Power Ice. So, we got those pesky ground-type Pokemon that are all like, yo, well, guess what? I'm immune to your electric-type shit. Yeah, that's fine by me, bro. You wanna know something else that's fine? Is the fact that Hidden Power Ice, Ice-type moves, they happen to be your weakness. So you wanna switch in your Garchomps, you wanna switch in your Landorus's and all that stuff. Hey, that's fine by me, bro. That's fine by me. Because you're gonna get popped by a 4x super effective Hidden Power Ice. May not seem like much, consider its base 60 power. But you'd be surprised as to how much power Raikou has with base 115 special attack with Calm Mind boosts. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Base 60 unstab power my ass. Calm Mind just boosts that shit right up. So, speaking of stats, let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to be running a Timid Nature. Yes, I said timid, not hasty, timid. We're going to be using all special attacks for Raikou. So anyways, Timid Nature boosts your speed and lowers your attack. And speaking of lowering the attack, let me just change the IV here to 0. You don't want to have any attack IVs, so that way you take less damage from foul play. Keep that in mind. If you're going to be a special attacker, get rid of your attack IVs. So, it's going to be real simple, really straightforward. 252 special attack, 252 speed, 4 special defense. Pretty much good to go, man. Just max speed, max special attack, balls to walls. Let's go! And speaking of let's go, how about we let's go into our Mega Pokemon. Member number 5! Haha! Mega-Scizor! And Mega-Scizor is so durable. This thing is a solid answer to, you know, your Garchomps, your Landuruses, your fucking Mega Metagrosses, Mega Lopunny, all that stuff! This thing is more bulky than Skarmory, for Christ's sakes. This thing is so powerful. Oh my god. I mean, just the thing is so damn awesome. So, it's going to be obviously our Mega Pokemon for this team. We got Scizorite being its Mega Stone, allow for it to achieve Mega Evolution in battle. The ability prior to that is going to be Light Metal, so that way if you switch into a low kick, well, Light Metal halves the Pokemon's weight, and low kick's damage is based on the weight of the Pokemon. So you cut that damage in half, cut that weight in half. No problem, bro. No problem. No problem. So, first move we got is going to be Roost! And that is going to be a move that heals 50% of your maximum health. It's amazing. This thing not only takes hits, but this thing can just roost right up in your face. It's amazing that a Pokemon that is just so bulky and so durable gets even more durability with Roost. It's fucking amazing. Up next, we're going to go for Defog. This right here, this team is very anti-hazards. And it does make for long, stallish battles, but this thing, like, it is so vital for this team to have Defog, because if you don't have Defog, you know, your Tornadus-Therians and all that stuff, and they're going to be checked. You don't have any way to get rid of spikes. Then your Regeneration Core, Raikou, Clefable, Mega-Scizor, they're all fucked. So Defog is a staple for this team. It is a must-have for this team. Speaking of a must-have, we need to have priority up in this bitch. So we got Bullet Punch. It's base 40 power and Steel type. It's priority, and what's even better is that upon Mega Evolving, let's just go back to the abilities here, will be Technician after Mega Evolving. And Technician, if we go down here, the moves that are base 60 or less power will have 1.5 times power boost, which means Bullet Punch's base 40 type power now becomes base 60 type power. That's amazing. Something else that's amazing is going to be its last move, Knock Off. And like Tornadus-Therian, this thing is such a great check in utility, because this thing will knock off your held items that are very important, with the exception if the Pokemon happens to have Sticky Hold, that way it can't lose the item, or if it's a Mega Stone, which can't be knocked off. But Knock Off serves as a great way to gain leverage against your opponents, especially if they're heavily dependent on their held items. Knock Off is just like, yeah, see ya, bye. Don't need your item messing up my shit. So let's go ahead and take a look at this spread right here real quick. So we got an Impish Nature to allow for it to have as much physical defense as possible, and you take a look at the gargantuan physical defense. 416. Okay? Got 248 EVs into the HP, which means it's 343, which is a fine number. It's pretty awesome. 252 EVs into its physical defense, which is 416. Fucking amazing. I can't believe how a Pokemon like this can out-trump Skarmory when it comes to defensive capabilities. And considering this thing only has one weakness, which is 4 times to fire, you got Pokemon on this team that can take those hits. And we got 8 into special defense to give it a little bit of special defense bulk. even without any investment, base 100 special defense is just where the thing needed it the most. The thing is just amazing. Amazing. I'm telling you, this thing, it has yet to let me down. It is so sturdy. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce you guys to our 6th final, but definitely a surprising MVP for this team is going to be Clefable. This thing is so MVP. It is so clutch because this thing, with the ability Unaware, it doesn't give a shit if you set up +6 on it. It's just like, check this out. This Pokemon ignores the other Pokemon stat changes when taking or doing damage, which means that you can set up to +6, and it's going to take damage as if it was neutral damage. No setup modifiers, nothing. So, Unaware, definitely going to be a staple on this team as well. Everything on this team is a staple. I mean, damn. So the item for choice is going to be leftovers to allow for you to passive recovery at the end of each turn. Sorry. Unaware is going to be the ability, as I stated before. Moonblast is going to be the first move that is going to be on Clefable. It's going to be his only attacking move. And it's base 95 fairy type move with 30% chance to lower the opponent's special attack by 1 stage. So, I mean, even with base 95 special attack uninvested, let's just go to the stats here real quick, you're going to be hitting surprisingly hard for being a cleric. Stab Moonblast. It's actually pretty awesome. And something else is awesome, it's going to be a second move, Heal Bell. Heal Bell cures your team of any status ailments. That means any toxic, any poison, sleep, paralysis, burns, you name it. You know, like this Pokemon has saved this team so many times for being outstalled, like toxic, burn, whatever. Like, this Pokemon is amazing. And another reason why this Pokemon is amazing is its third move, Wish. Wish is a 2-turn healing move. First turn, you set up the Wish, and second turn, the recipient of the Wish gets its health restored by 50% of Clefable's maximum health. So, you can either stay in at the second turn and get the Wish healing, or you can switch in a member of the team that needs that health restoration and get a sexy chunk of health back. It's amazing. And Protect is going to be its last move, and this goes hand in hand with Wish. So say if Clefable needs to stall for a little bit, or say if it needs to get some health back, and it needs an uninterrupted way, well, you can set up Wish the first turn, eat up a hit, Protect the second turn, get the Wish back for free, pretty much. So, that's pretty much it for the moveset of Clefable. Really straightforward. This thing is meant to be a cleric and meant to be a anti-setup wall. This thing is amazing. And the EV spread goes like this. So we are going to have a Calm Nature, which boosts your special defense even further. We're going to have 252 EVs into these HP, 172 into physical defense, and 84 into special defense. And as you see right here, we got some really good mixed bulk here, meant to take hits from both sides of the spectrum, and just, wow. The thing never ceases to amaze me. I mean, even though its physical defense is a lot less impressive than its special defense, the thing is surprisingly physically durable too, and well, naturally especially durable, but especially the fact that this thing can take physical hits too, it's amazing. I think any Pokemon that can take hits from both sides of the spectrum is just a must-have on this team, an absolute must-have. So, with that being said, this here pretty much concludes the first part of the team building / rate my team video. So, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the first part of the video, and the second part will be coming up later on tonight, or later on today, excuse me. It's like 20 after 9 in the morning. And I just got home from a 12-hour shift. So, right after this video goes up, I'm going to be working on the second one when I get back from the gym. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I know that you guys are going to enjoy part 2, being the battle demonstration, because, woo! You guys are going to be in for a fucking movie. So, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this team building / rate my team video, then please feel free to leave a like! And if you guys love regeneration cores, if you love Raikou, Mega-Scizor, Clefable, that's more reasons to leave a like for this video. And be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and also share this video with all your friends. Subscribe to Mega-Crasher in the community, because you already know the deal by now, friends, when we are community. Okay? It's tightly knit as one. We shine brighter than the sun. Woo! But you already know that, so thanks for watching, and I shall see you guys next upload!